chapter 1. Okay,
Okay.
so I will start reading then, okay?
Go ahead. Thank you.
So the right to be rich.
Yes.
Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. We cannot rise to our greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless we have plenty of money. In order to unfold the soul and to develop talent, we must have many things to use, and we cannot have these things unless we have money to buy them with. People develop in mind, soul, and body by making use of things, and society is so organized that people must have money in order to become the possessors of things. Therefore, the basis of all human advancement must be the science of getting rich. The object of all life is development. Everything that lives has an inalienable right to all the development it is capable of attaining. Each of us has a right to live. This means the right to have the free and unrestricted use of all the things that may be necessary to our fullest mental, spiritual, and physical unfolding. In other words, our right to be rich. In this book, I shall not speak of riches in a figurative way. To be really rich does not mean to be satisfied or contented with a little. You ought not to be satisfied with a little if you are capable of using and enjoying more. The purpose of nature is the advancement and development of life. Every individual should have all that can contribute to the power, elegance, beauty, and richness of life. When you own all that you want for the living of all the life you are capable of living, you are rich. You cannot have all you want without plenty of money. Life has advanced so far and become so complex that even the most ordinary man or woman requires a great amount of wealth in order to live in a manner that even approaches completeness. You naturally want to become all that you are capable of becoming. This desire to realize innate possibilities is inherent in human nature. Success in life is becoming what you want to be. You can become what you want to be only by making use of things, and you can have the free use of things only as you become rich enough to buy them. Therefore, an understanding of the laws of the universe and the science of getting rich is the most essential of all knowledge. Would someone else like to read?
What line are you on? I'd be happy to pick it up.
Okay, at line 40 is where you would start.
Okay. Thank you. There is nothing wrong in wanting to get rich. The desire for riches is really desire for a richer, fuller, and more abundant life, and that desire is praiseworthy. The person who does not desire to live more abundantly is uncommon. The individual who does not desire to have money enough to buy all that is desired may not be living to full potential. There are three motives for which we live. We live for the body, the mind, and the soul. No one of these is better or holier than the other. Each is desirable, and neither body, mind, nor soul can live fully if one of the others is cut short of full life and expression. It is not right or noble to live only for the soul and deny mind or body. It is wrong to live for the intellect and deny body and soul. We are all acquainted with the loathsome consequences of living for the body and denying both mind and soul. We see that real life means the complete expression of all that a person can give forth through body, mind, and soul. We cannot be really happy or satisfied unless our bodies are living fully in every function and unless the same is trust of our mind and our soul. Wherever there is an unexpressed possibility or an unperformed function, there is an unsatisfied desire. Desire is possibility seeking expression or function seeking performance. A person cannot live fully in body without good food, comfortable clothing, warm shelter, and freedom from excessive toil. Rest and recreation are also necessary to one's physical life. A person cannot live fully in mind without books, and time to study them, without opportunity for travel and observation, or without intellectual companionship. To live fully in mind, one must have intellectual recreations, and must be surrounded by all the objects of art and beauty one is capable of using and appreciating. To live fully in soul, an individual must have love, and the expression of love is often frustrated by poverty. Our highest happiness is found in the bestowal of benefits on those we love. Love finds its most natural, spontaneous expression in giving. When we have nothing to give, we cannot fill the place as a spouse or parent, as a citizen, or as a human being. It is in the use of material things that a person finds full life for one's body, develops the mind, and unfolds the soul. It is, therefore, of supreme importance to be rich. It is perfectly right that you should desire to be rich. If you are a normal man or woman, you cannot help doing so. It is perfectly right that you should give your best attention to the science of getting rich, because it is the noblest and most necessary of all studies. If you neglect this study, you are derelict in your duty to yourself, to God, and to humanity. You can render God and humanity no greater service than to make the most of yourself.
Thank you. Let's all unmute ourselves and we can have a look at the questions. Okay, so the first question asks, explain how the right to life includes the right to be rich.
Birthright.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
It's like we came here to live a fulfilling, happy, abundant life. The law of the world down here is the law of attraction. Therefore, we came here with all the tools that we require to live the happy, fulfilling, loving, and abundant life.
And it says on line 16, each of us has a right to life. This means the right to have the free and unrestricted use of all the things that may be necessary to our fullest mental, spiritual, and physical unfolding. In other words, our right to be rich.
Yeah, and in line 10 it talks about how society is organised in a certain way. So for us to be able to have everything that we need, we have to use society's tools, and society has the tool of money for us to be able to get the things we want. So really, the only reason why we need the money is because of the way society is set up. If it wasn't set up that way, we wouldn't need to have the money. We might have a barter system, or things just might work naturally if everyone understood the laws and worked together with cause and effect. So it's really the way that society is set up. We have to have the money to be able to get the things we need to express ourselves in this life.
That was pretty cool, Nicole, about if everybody understood the laws of nature and the laws of cause and effect, we might not need to have a monetary system. That was a pretty deep thought.
Wouldn't it be a wonderful world?
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how people got into this thought of it was wrong to have riches?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's come from past ages where it's really been abused. Like there's been, and even now, you know, you see governments around the world and religions even, where certain people have all, you know, they've got their walls paved with gold, while the people, you know, the general population are scrimping and saving just to feed their family. So I think just the way it's been abused has turned everyone's nose up to being like that. They don't want to be like that, so they choose not to have riches at all.
The correlation between riches and greed.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the greed that gets people it just seems like some people, they get to a certain point where they're rich, and then all of a sudden it becomes like they have to have more. It's almost like an addiction, you know? And they have to have more and have to have more, and then they pretty soon become more controlling. And so the average person would look at riches like, why would I want to be rich to be like that, you know?
That's because they're living on the competitive plane rather than creative,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Exactly.
And then,
Scarcity mindset.
and then what snowballs after that is that we get that learning or those ideas or those thoughts from our ancestors who have witnessed these kind of things, and we may not even witness this greed, but we still have this idea that it's bad to have money, even though we never saw any reason ourselves. We just thought that.
It all comes from a scarcity mindset. When you think that getting riches or getting something would cause the other person to have less.
Yes, exactly.
It's like Bob says, amateurs compete, professionals create.
Yeah.
So once you create, you realize there really is an infinite supply out of which you can draw the resources and create new stuff. So it's not getting from someone and giving to the other person.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Even if it looks like that on the outside, as in I have a $10 bill, I give it to you. So I lack $10, but it's not quite so.
I think this is Serenity. I think a new paradigm is happening now as more and more groups like this pop up, and we all start studying this material and expanding our wealth consciousness. But you know, I'm still of the belief that we're all evolving into an era where money per se is not even required. We start moving into unity conscious, and money isn't even going to be what we're looking for. We're all about other things. But right now, many of us are working on wealth consciousness, and that excites me for where we're stepping to next.
Good point.
Yeah, and it's nice to be one of the ones who is spreading that throughout the world. And I think we all do a great job in sharing this information with other people. And, you know, it's really nice to know that we are one of the pioneers in getting this truth out to the general population.
Indeed, and with the technology, to give it a term, we're a virus.
Excellent.
We're a wealth virus.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, isn't it, to be a part of this movement, kind of, that seems to be growing.
Yeah, and I can feel it growing and growing, and you know, within me, and then within me, my reality is completely changing as well. So it's good. I can feel the shift.
Yeah, and they've talked about, I'm not sure exactly who talks about this, but probably everybody in this industry talks about how infinite intelligence helps in the areas that are in line with his purposes at the moment. So in the past, it's been, you know, the industrial revolution, and I believe today it's getting this basic teaching back into the human population. So I believe that's why it's happening so quick now, and a lot of people you speak to have heard of it now, whereas 20 or 30, maybe even longer than that ago, 50, 60 years ago, it wasn't so well known.
Yeah, I think what's up with that, Nicole, is the internet is just, you know, suddenly we're not separate anymore. We're able to connect and download this stuff, where in the past, you know, just to get a printed book was very hard for some people, and now it's just easier than lightning to get this information.
Yeah.
And then it's not the wealth aware we're building, it's abundance in general, full stop. How to be abundant, full stop.
Yeah. And I think the invention of the internet is actually part of getting this information out there. So I believe that is part of the purpose, and is not here by accident at this time.
I don't overly think anything much is by accident.
Oh, no, I think we're going to talk about that next chapter, actually.
Yeah, it's all on purpose.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that question?
I like these reflection questions, by the way, so the workbook might have been a good choice.
Yeah. So question 2 asks us, is it right to be content with poverty? And if not, why not?
It's a tough life.
Is it really?
It's stressful. It can be, yeah, it is.
Really? It doesn't have to be, though. I'm just saying.
I guess it all really depends on how you see it, or but if it is where it's where there's not quite enough to live comfortably, then it can be really stressful. I mean, it does feel stressful.
I might rephrase that then, Kelly, just a suggestion. It can be stressful.
Yeah,
and it can be tough. My life isn't stressful and my life isn't tough.
Mm.
It has been in the past. And as I've expanded my wealth and abundance vibration, it's gotten less and less and less stressful and less tough. And along the way of my expansion and my evolution, my consciousness has expanded. Therefore, my view and perception of the world is different.
That's true.
Therefore, what may have seemed stressful to me 10 years ago no longer seems stressful to me. I just say, God bless your souls, and I move on. Because I realize everyone is perfect exactly the way they are. And in the past, it used to stress me, and it doesn't anymore.
So, Kelly, do you think it would be right to be content? Like, would you be content with that situation? And would it be right to be content with that situation?
Be content with what situation?
With being stressed because there's not enough that you would like to be able to develop fully.
I suppose that, I mean, usually I tune into what you're saying there, and I guess whenever I get, having to focus my attention on details about, circumstances or finance or what have you, it throws me off. And so that's kind of the place where I'm coming from when I said that.
Exactly.
It does feel very, depleting of my vibrational energy.
I agree with you, Callie. It takes away from your power to be creative if your power is being used to survive. And it says here on line 4, we cannot rise to our greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless we have plenty of money. So I think that's where it's kind of telling us that no, it's not. It's
right.
Okay. Accept poverty, because you cannot grow to your fullest potential if you don't have everything you want and need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we came here as beings of, we came here to become more, to expand into something more, to expand our consciousness. It's an expanding universe. Therefore, to be content with where you're at in this 10 seconds, for the rest of your life, you become pretty damn miserable.
Yeah.
So we come here wanting more, wanting to be more, wanting to expand. Therefore, we as a human race could not be content with living in poverty permanently because of the law of expansion, the law of abundance.
Yeah, that feels more right.
And we also owe it to everybody to make the best out of ourselves, because when we do, we help others expand as well. So it's not just for us, it's for the whole community and for the whole universe.
Yeah.
What if you don't care about the community?
Then you would be.
Because most people are what's the word? You know what I mean. They care about themselves, just themselves.
Yeah, but it's important for us too.
Yeah.
What would you have to say to that kind of person?
Can you ask the question again?
Really?
No, I was saying, what about... Oh, there's someone in the background.
I've muted them.
All right. I was asking, what about the people that have not yet reached that stage of consciousness where they want to help other people, So they care only about themselves.
Oh, but if they care about themselves, they'll make the best out of themselves, right? So making the best out of themselves, they automatically help others too.
Because that ripples out. It's that unseen ripple that you talk about, that wave from you where you're at with your consciousness that goes out, and that alone changes the planet. Just by you being vibration, you become an example of it.
But I would say most everybody wants more money in one way or another. Even if they don't accept it or they have limiting ideas and paradigms about it, they still have that tendency, or they struggle for more, if not money, like Serenity said, more. We have that innate desire for more. So the only people I see that are content with poverty are those rare cases that you see that he's a multi-millionaire, he sold everything and went on a boat or went to live in the woods. In my opinion, those are the only ones that seem to accept poverty. And I don't know why.
I don't see that as poverty. I see that as the total wealth of something more than what he's had in the past.
Yeah, so he's working on a different area. He's working on his spiritual
I haven't thought about that.
side.
Yeah.
Might be a wealth of spirituality, a wealth of connection to the infinite intelligence.
Actually,
well, why would you have
really
to sell everything in order to live that?
Because it's not the money that we're after. It's what we can do with the money. We want to be happy. We want to grow. And some people,
exactly.
Yeah. But some people, they're happy fishing out in the water and don't want a Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to add one sentence to what we were talking about before about being the best that you can be, and whether it be that you're thinking of yourself or you're thinking of other people. It says here on line 86, you can render God and humanity no greater service than to make the most of yourself. So whether you're thinking about who you're doing it for, it doesn't matter. Just making the most of yourself is rendering God and humanity a great service.
Exactly, because that's what we're put here to do, isn't it? It's to grow. It's to help infinite intelligence to grow, because we are a part of that. And if we're not doing that, we're pinching ourselves off from our Creator and our higher selves. We came here to be all we can be. Yeah. And having the money is just a part of being able to do that. We can do that in any way we choose.
Yeah. The universe too, like science even shows the universe is still expanding. Planets and stars are getting further and further apart because the universe is even still expanding. And the example of the person that sells everything and goes to live in the middle of nowhere to be with God, if they make a different choice and decide to have money again, guarantee you, because they already have the wealth consciousness, because they've had it in the past, they just chose to give it up, they would have that money again in a blink. They would come up with a great idea because they're connected to infinite intelligence and go out and make another $1 million in a very short space of time.
Yeah.
They already have wealth consciousness, they've proven that.
And that's been shown to happen lots of times.
Exactly. Yeah. People lose it and they're suddenly like Trump got $190 billion in debt because he went against, what his flow of making money is. And when you realise that, turn around and made it all back in a blink.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good for us to respect where other people are at with their growth and to understand that they may not be in a phase where they need money. They may be in a phase where, for example, the monks who spend a lot of time meditating, that is their way that they want to grow. So there's a lot of different ways that people choose to grow and a lot of different areas that people find joy. So we have to respect other people's form of growth if it's different to our own.
Indeed. Nicole, I have my saying for that is to remind me to be respectful of other people's choices. And where they're at is they're perfect. God bless their cotton souls. They're perfect exactly just the way they are in every 10-second increment.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own form of rich. You can be rich in love, rich in money, but it's not only money. And to answer the question, is it right to be content with poverty? No, absolutely not.
And why?
Because we can have more. You can grow. You can have everything you want.
Indeed.
So yeah, we need to be able to buy books to read. It's a good way to help other people, and that's growth within ourselves by helping others. There's lots of things that we need money for to be able to grow.
Nicole, I want to respond to your question a little differently. You asked, can I be content with that, with the condition? And the thought that comes to me is that I can become content to it to the degree of being where I'm neutral and not being in opposition. Because it's in being in opposition is what contributes to the resistance and bringing up the emotions to fuel that discomfort. And so,
I don't necessarily, Kelly, I don't necessarily see being okay with something as actually being content. Being neutral is not being content.
Oh.
Content feels nice. Being neutral feels zero.
Yeah, okay.
Because when I get really start feeling grumpy and stuff, I take myself, when I got to get stuff done that I dislike doing, I go to that neutral space just so I can move through it. And I'm telling you, that does not feel content. It just feels totally neutral to get the stuff done and to deal with it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was agreeing with what you were saying, Kelly, earlier, and I was just trying to help you to make your point that yes, it can be stressful, and we do quite often allow our situations to get us quite stressed because we're human and we're not perfect in our physical form. So
and yet if we change our mindset about it, that's a big help. It's like, because that was one of the things that I had been working on doing, and even finding something to be grateful for. It's like, and then it just kind of took me out of that being stuck in it.
Yeah. So your discontentment with certain situations is showing there. So you're in the right mind frame as far as not being content with that situation and wanting to move forward into something else.
One would think that if you're experiencing some form of discomfort around the topic and stuff, then you're not content.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. That's what I was just trying to help her bring out that point. Okay. Because we all do feel stress, and we all have different ways to help ourselves deal with it, and that's something that we all need to work on for our vibration. We need to really use our will to get our thoughts into a different frame so that we can be attracting the things we want and not the things we don't want.
Right. And like Bob said in the seminar, he said, he's not telling us to just ignore that we have an empty bank account. We have a memory for that. We look at it, we commit it to memory, we work with it, with what we've got, but we change our thoughts right away. Don't dwell on that thought. Put it away in your memory and work on your envisioning what it is that you do want. Just try not to dwell on that.
Guys, I have 4 things here that I wrote down during the seminar. Bob said we are designed to have desires to be fulfilled. We're denying ourselves the opportunity to grow if we deny ourselves what we want. And it is our responsibility to grow. Our responsibility, that's a very big word. Accept that with conviction in your heart, he said.
Yeah, that's
absolutely. It is a responsibility because that's what we were put here to do, to create the expansion of the world.
I have a comment. This is Kimberly. Bob also said, and it kind of resonated with me, he says, if we come from abundance, we can take abundance and still there's abundance remain. So that means, I know someone else said that our universe is constantly expanding. And so the desire is in us to want more, to have more, and to be more. So to settle for less, not only are we working against the natural laws of the universe, then we're not even able to do for ourselves as much as we could do for others, the more that we have.
Indeed. And Kimberly, this is Serenity, just to expand upon that, hearing you say that, I could just hear Esther and Abraham Hicks saying, go downstream in the canoe instead of paddling upstream against the current. That's what it feels like when you're doing the opposite.
Can I add something?
Sure.
My name is Ronnie. I think think that the right to be rich also can be interpreted as you have the right. It is not about only money for me, but it is the right to have everything, to be everything, to become everything, to become all you have in you. So if you want to become a musician, you have the right to become full a musician. And it is not only connected, so richness is not only connected to money for me. It is also, for instance, the limiting beliefs that people have. People are not feeling enough, or they are not enough. The environment is telling you that it's not enough. So the right to be rich is the right to be here. That's how I interpret it also.
And to be all of us, be and have all of us.
Yes, have it
Not
all.
just a small part. Have it all.
Yep.
It is like playing the game, getting in and not settle for less, but getting into the game of life and doing all you can do without fear, without whatever.
That's a good name for this. We call ourselves the Have It All Club.
Yes.
I like that.
Or the Having It All Club.
Yes.
The Have It All Club.
Yes, that's it.
And that's a great point. Was it pronounced Rooney?
Yeah, Rooney.
Rooney?
Yes.
That was a great point. And I said, I think we should just call ourselves the Have It All Club.
It also has to be something. It also, for me, the Have It All Club also says it sounds like heaven, because in heaven you have everything, and in paradise you have everything. You see.
And to me, heaven and hell is here, right now. If you're expanding like we're doing and expanding our consciousness, it feels good. And when you feel good, you're in heaven.
Yes.
And when you're doing to the degree of the opposite of that and resisting against it and going down, upstream with the canoe instead of downstream like we're doing, then that's painful and that's hell.
And I think that's the first chapter. What I realized is that the first chapter, the right to be rich. So it is not something that can be taken from you. The moment you are born, you are actually the right to be in heaven, to fulfill everything. And what is happening is that the world and the egos around you, they put you into hell. So when a child is born, the child is coming from heaven, coming from all the potential, or coming from the place where everything is possible. And then when the child meets egos, ego is something like, I want to talk, or I want to do this, I want to do that. You are not doing it good. You are not doing it well. So when you meet egos, they pull you to hell. And the first chapter says you have the right to be in heaven all the time, to realize everything.
Yeah. And to go back to that too with the when we're born, because it was speaking about being born, even the very first thing we do the moment we're born is we take a breath. Therefore, suddenly our lungs that had nothing, that were in poverty of air, are now filled with air, which is our right to live and be, because that's the first thing we need. It's one of the things we need to survive. So the first thing we do is we open our lungs up and take a deep, deep abundance of breath.
And something else that I noted from that conversation is that the moment that we're born, we're thrust into automatically the competitive environment rather than the creative environment.
And unfortunately, that becomes our reality then, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, it comes to me as like we are being domesticated, and it's because of our parents and their parents and their parents, and it's like now we're at a place where we could change that. It's we're there now, but it's because we're becoming domesticated and we don't know any better. We're just learning from the environment that we're in. And so if you grow up in a really, really hard, desperate environment, that's 9 times out of 10 how your whole life is going to be. very rarely do you get out of that situation unless something traumatic happens to you where you start to look at things or question things in your life. Is there more? Because that came to me 10 years ago. Is there more? And where I'm at now, it's like, wow, I didn't have any clue.
And it excites me that more of us are waking up and doing this, because that said, you know, the paradigm is changing. I'm studying this, and I'm studying it with my 3 daughters, 22, 17, and 12. I bought each, in fact, even my house cleaner. For Christmas, I bought each and every one of them their own book of Think and Grow Rich, as I did that course with Bob in October, and I loved it so much. My cleaner loves it. I wrote a special message in each and every one of them. And my girls, when they come back from the Philippines next week, once they settle back in, they want to sit and have family meetings, and we'll sit and do, you know, our bedtime stories in my household right up to the age of 22 has become mum sitting and reading to them Think and Grow Rich chapter by chapter, including my 12-year-old.
That's so cool, Serenity.
That's our future. That excites me. So our paradigm is changing because we, on this call, chose to wake up.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Napoleon Hill has this list, 12 things that make man rich. And number 1 is a positive mental attitude, and number 12 is financial security. So there are 11 other things that make man rich before it's financial security. It's not just about money.
No.
Good remark.
Yeah.
Good point.
Well, would you want to know some of the others?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we would.
Well, okay, a positive mental attitude, sound physical health, harmony in human relations, freedom from fear, the hope of future achievement, the capacity for applied faith, willingness to share one's blessings with others, to be engaged in a labor of love, to open mind on all subjects towards all people, complete self-discipline, wisdom to which to understand people, and then financial security.
So I can see how you need all the others before you get the financial security.
Yeah.
Without, you can't be financially secure. The money doesn't come.
Good point.
To change your consciousness of where the perspectives are coming from, beliefs, to rise above.
I think the financial security is a result. So first, you can feel, you don't have to do anything, but first you can take the right to be healthy. You can take the right to give love to people. You can do, because first you have to you cannot claim the money. You cannot focus on the money first. You have to first give, and then once you give, it will return back into money. So that's why I think it is on the 11th place. If you start only with money without delivering, it's not going to work. So this happened with me last week when I followed the seminar. It shifted my mindset and some fears that I had, like with my business. Can I do this? Is this enough? Those fears, they changed, and it shifted, and then I came into a coming like a zone. So you come in a zone where everything you touch becomes magic, and you can only come there when you give to other people. I want to ask you all, I think during these meetings, what is your true name? So what is your name? And what I mean is not what is your local name, like Hildy, Kimberly, etc. But what is your name? So what did you do? What did you come here to do? Once you do that, once you know your real name, then you can do magic. For instance, somebody can be the graphic magician. That's just the name, but it determines that that person came to this world to create beautiful things. And I will tell you my name right now. My name is the storyteller, because I came here to tell story, to change people's lives with stories. You see? So I'm Rooney, but at the same time, I know who I am. So that's my question to you. Who are you?
I really like that. How about if
Yeah.
we think about that and come back next week and introduce
Yes.
ourselves with our name?
Can I do that now? Because I've already worked that out.
Sure.
I'm Serenity, and I'm the emissary of love. I came here to change this planet by being love and showing people that divine love of the universe, God, all that is possible. And all I do is love. I just love to love to love. And that's where the moment I introduce to the fact that I am the emissary of love, and I love you.
Thanks,
love
thanks,
you. I love
thanks,
you.
Serenity. And I just wanted I want to tell you why I'm asking the names. I'm going to tell you a story because that's what I do. Angels travel in packs, so they always travel in pack. So they travel in troops, and when they meet again, they know each other. So we are here within this group because probably we know each other already. And when I know that Serenity, what she came here, then I recognize her. And wherever I need Serenity to create beautiful things, I can call upon her. That's the reason.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that as well, and I also believe that we do meet with each other in and out of life on Earth or perhaps other planets.
Yeah.
Coming up. Sorry, I was going to say we're coming up to 12 to the hour. We might like to move on to another question. Or?
We've actually been covering the next question. We've been talking about what a complete life is, and that's why I haven't bothered really moving on to it. So, but we can continue with that, and why riches are essential to complete living. Because I guess the reason why we're talking about riches today is because that's what this particular book's about, and we're going to move on to other books which will talk about other areas of being complete. And I know that riches aren't the be-all and end-all of how we can grow on this earth, but just for the sake of this book, it's just teaching that area. And I think that riches are quite important to do a lot of the things we need to grow.
And only because, Nicole, that's what this society has deemed to be the currency to get what it is that you want.
Exactly.
As we move towards unity consciousness, and suddenly money per se is not important because everyone's needs are just met because you have a right for your needs to be minimum as your birthright, then money will become less and less and less important.
Yes.
And then what will be the currency then will be just being in unity and working together as a community.
Yes.
Well, money is just energy. I think everybody puts a different emphasis and gravity on money. It's just paper.
Well, no, actually, ours in Australia is plastic.
Really?
So it's not even paper anymore. Just saying, it's a change in time.
Because we tend to wash it a lot in Australia, so we need it to be.
Oh, okay.
We're into laundering money here a lot.
Because we're always in our quick dries and we stick the money in our Velcro pocket and.
Just jump in the pool or the ocean. And it's like, no, I've done it again. I've lost my money.
It's plastic here in Canada too.
Is it?
But it is just atoms, molecules, and space. It's like everything.
Yeah. So it's just a resource that we need to use in this time and place to be able to purchase things to enable us to grow in different ways.
We as people, Nicole, and everyone, we put the value on it. We, the people, our perception of it puts the value on it. It's just paper and plastic.
But there has to be some form of being able to trade things between each other because we can't do everything ourselves, right? So we have to depend on others to provide certain things for us. So that's just a means of trading. Like one of the examples that Bob gave in the seminar was about the two cavemen, and the one guy was really good at making the arrows, and the other guy was really good at actually doing the hunting. And so how that evolved so that the one guy would do the one thing and the other guy would do the other thing. And so that's kind of why we need some kind of a currency.
May I jump in with one quick example?
Yes.
We all know what barter was or is.
Yeah.
That's how it started. Like Cheryl said, we have the guy that makes arrows, the other guy that does fishing or whatever. So they started trading in between them. But what happens if I, the fisherman, have fish and want to buy, or I want milk? So I go to the person that has the cows. So obviously I will give him fish for that milk. But what if he doesn't want fish? He wants, I don't know, crop. So I have to find the third person, go give him fish, for the crop, then return with the crop and exchange that for milk. So basically that's how money got invented, as a means of, so it's a store of value. So basically I can give you that currency which you know you can exchange for whatever you like afterwards. So I don't have to go and look for the crops and whatever. It simplifies a lot the exchange.
Yeah. And do you think that greed had a big part of us having to invent money? So we
No.
Down to the
I don't see any relation.
No, it was the whole thing there. And I know I came in halfway. But the whole thing there was just to make basically bartering easier. Okay.
Exactly.
There was no greed involved. If there was any greed, it was always going to be there. The example, okay, well, I need produce to give to the farmer for the milk. Well, you're going to have the bargain or the bargaining between the fisherman and the farmer. Okay, for the fruit or vegetables or whatever. Okay, so you're always going to have that level of deal making, and somebody could be greedy there. So it wasn't in the creation of money that greed came up. It was always going to be there.
Yes,
I was wondering whether it was the other way around, whether we needed to invent the money because people wanted to know down to the last cent what the value was that they were getting.
I think, can I have one? I think if you don't have money, then you trade based on your specialities. So the fisherman is better in fishing than the hunter. So if there is no money, they just trade the services. But to make it easier, they trade the services means that you have to focus on what you do best. You have to focus on your passions and on your abilities. But the moment you introduce money, then it is easier, it's making it easier, but then also some people will not get the money. So some people, they will not focus on their primary passions, whatever. So in a world where there is no money, I think everybody would try to trade something.
That's a really good point.
And now we are focusing on the money, but we should focus on the talents of people, on what they have.
Yeah, and the problem today is that money doesn't have I'll say a fixed value like it once did. Way back, in the early '60s, money was in silver. Last in the 18 and early 1900s, money was in gold. It was backed in gold. So everybody, no matter where you were, knew what your money was worth. Okay. Now, with governments going through, and it's fiat currencies, and governments manipulate their value. so it makes life a lot harder for everyone on top of everything else.
You know
But-
what? Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the money is external. So if you focus on the dollars only or on the rupias or whatever, that is something external from your power. So the money will always change. It is something external. But in the chapter 4, I'm reading also chapter 4, it says you have to look through the money. You have to look through all appearances and see the power, the real thing. So one of the things that never changes in currency is love. So love will always be of the same value, you see. So if you give love to somebody or to the world, and when you are delivering service to the world, you're delivering love, then you will get abundance. And the abundance can be in money, but it can be also in health or whatever. So I say, I'm an economist, so it is strange to say that, but the currency of love is the stablest currency there is. And if you give that, so I can give you all guys right now $1 million. I can give you $1 million. Why do I give you $1 million? I can materialize that $1 million, but basically I'm giving you love. I'm hoping that you reach all your possibilities, you see? So look behind the term money. The word money means currency. It is something from the material world, but it can also mean abundance. So we need abundance. So give love, and then you will receive the money, the currency we have here.
That's a very great point.
Yeah, and while our 3D vibration is focused on money, because that's where we've got, and it's often used more than anything else to control the masses and to keep people where they're at, blah, blah, blah. But me, where I'm at and what I've come here to do and be, having a vibration and a vision for our future as a whole of moving into 5D unit of consciousness, money will not exist. People will do stuff for the reason of love, because they love to fish, because they love to have till the soil. They love to look after animals. They love to do whatever they do. And then some people love the place to be clean, so they'll just happily clean. People will do just what they love to do, because as a whole, we're together taking care of each other in a way like the Native American Indians did. You know, those type of societies took care of each other. People went out and tilled the soil because that's what they were good at. Some people went out and got the animals and brought back the meat because that's what they were good at. And as a whole, they all shared it and everyone's needs were met. We're moving back towards that. And all there is love, and love will take care of everything. Love will be the currency.
So can you give me a little bit love?
Love, I love you. I love you. I can say that all day. It means from my heart. I do it all day. I say it all day. I say I love you. I look at myself in the mirror and I say I love you. I meet strangers and I tell them I love them. And if they have stuff around love, I just say it's nothing personal. I love everybody.
I like that.
Well, but then suddenly they're comfortable with it because I'm empathic too, so I can feel them go, oh, someone just told me, she just met me 5 seconds ago, she said I love you, and I felt like she meant it. What's up with that? What does she want? And then when I feel that, it's to say that it's all right, nothing personal. I'm just like that with everyone. I said, because I see everything. To me, everyone's my brother and my sister. I love them. We're here together. We're just a group of angels. Yes. We're a group of ascended masters come down here on the planet to be together, to have an experience of whatever this 3D reality, to help Gaia expand in abundance again into her 5D reality. And we're masters in training.
Okay, I can say, I dare to say it here. What I think is that I think that we are gods. So we are, I said angels, I said, but we are gods. That means that you can create everything, and you can do magic basically. And when you come here, you play the game of life. And then in the game of life, there is this thing called money. And a lot of people with egos, they hold on to the money, to that thing called money here, and they use the money, like you said, they use it to ruin the lives of other people. And the great leaders, they were inspiring. So some people, they said, I have a dream. And when he said, I have a dream, he wanted the betterment. So if you look closely outside, you will see the big leaders, but with a lot of followers, they don't care about money. They all care about love, about loving the people. And they are doing their strength. They are doing the passion, the thing they have. Some of them let other people see. Some of them educate people, etc. So they are all playing with a different currency. They are not attached to money. I'm not attached to money. I'm trying to not get attached to the money. So they deliver love. Love is their currency. They play the game of life with love. Can you understand that?
Yeah, we are made. Even the Bible says we are made in the image of God. Therefore, we are God. If you understand quantum physics and with the macrocosms and microcosms, God, that's an acronym for me. GOD stands for Great Overall Designer. Is the macrocosm. We are part of God's reality, and in our microcosm, our reality is our universe, and we're in control of that. We are God.
So,
just a smaller.
So one question. Why does God? I think this question is not in the book, but why does God split itself in how many people are we? Split itself in 12 people, and then God comes together to.
Did it really split, or are we still a part of the whole?
Yes.
Anyway, we're just choosing to have a different experience and an experience as this person or that person or this person.
Yes. But why do we come together? Why do we come together? Why do we come together to read about the book? My question, that's a rhetoric question. My answer to that is because we want to find ourselves. Because when we are split or when we are in our own lives, we forget who we are. And then once we come together, we know who we are, then we can do the magic again.
Amen to that.
Amen.
I like that.
I was talking to my daughter about our short time on the earth last night, and she said, well, if it's a place where we come and learn, and I kind of said it's like going to a theme park. That's how long it would probably take. And if your friend goes on the roller coaster, you don't tell them what the ride's going to be like because you ruin it for them. Because she asked me, why after someone dies and they go back to the spirit realm, do they not come back and tell us the truth about why we're here and help us? I said, well, because they ruin the ride. We're here to learn.
Doctor Who called
That's good. That's good.
Spoilers. Suddenly you're going to tell about the future and they go, spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoilers experience, right? Someone tells you about the movie before you go see it, it's totally ruined.
Exactly.
You miss out on the experience yourself.
I think I have one observation on that is sometimes you let me say, you don't get everything, so they don't come and tell you, but what they do is they tell you that there is something, you see. So my mother died a couple of years ago, 11 years ago, and she said I will knock 3 times, so that I will knock 3 times, you see. So when she died, afterwards I expected like 3 times knocking, knock, knock, knock. But the knocking was not 3 times. It was like 3 events, you see? So 3 events after each other and connected.
We literally translate stuff, right? Like we do the Bible.
Yes. So if somebody loves you, even if after he or she dies, if you are connected, you are still connected with that person, and that person can give you guidance or whatever. That person can help you, can enlighten you.
Yes, indeed. My dad visits me all the time.
And we do receive hunches from Infinite as well. in relation to the things that we're focusing on at the time.
Yes.
Well, that's
Why
what
you are quiet?
Processing.
we have a spirit team that comes down here too. Spirit people call them guides. I like to call them a team. And as we need to know new stuff, they come down here to be an influence to us if we desire to be open to that, to receive that.
And that's a really good.
Sorry?
I was going to say that's a really good point, because, you know, really we do receive guidance, but we're just not used to receiving it and have forgotten how.
I can tell you one thing. I wish you to use this thing during to the next call. Imagine that you are sitting in your own life and you are working or whatever, and there is this situation, difficult situation. You can imagine that behind you there are 12 angels or 12 powerful beings, and we don't know each other yet, so we don't know what the magic is we can all do. But I want you to imagine that between those 12 people, beings, there is one storyteller. So you see, so whatever situation you are encountering in your life, there is behind you 12 beings that give you their love and the blessings, and you can confront everything. So you can use the magic or the abundance of all those people. And after those 12 people, there is your generation. So everything, your mother, they could have died, etc., but they are backing you. You are not alone. You see, you can always tap into that. So I do that. I had a difficult meeting this week, and then I just went there and I just said, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I'm not afraid. I'm going to do it. This is the game of life. I'm going to do it. That's it. And that's also what is happening right now with my business. It's like sometimes I go back to fear, because fear is my biggest enemy. But the most of the time, I do not care. I just play the game.
And we're the nice having it all club who's playing the game of life, having a ball of fun, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to share our new names next week.
I don't know if I have enough imagination to come up with them.
Well, you won't if you say that.
I know. I know.
You'll find
I'm
something
going
you're
to be
good at,
exercising my imagination this week to come up with a name.
It's something you're good at, something you enjoy.
And don't listen to your family members. They'll come up with some real winners.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you can also do is you can ask your daughter or your son if there is this imaginary character with all powers. So how do you see me? You see, so then so if you don't know it yourself, you can ask your loved ones, etc. Imagine this character, this character, and he or she looks like me, but he or she is not me. But what are the powers they have? So how do you see me? You see? Yeah. So there is when there is the mirror of life, they can tell you who you are.
It's like you'd meet Rooney and you'd say, dude, he tells great stories. You meet Serenity and you go, God, she's just so loving.
Yes.
It's what are you being? Who are you? What do you be?
And why are you here?
Pretty much, it's what you're here to do and be. And you are being that already and doing it. And you always have.
So I think, can we be rich? Can we be rich? We are already rich.
I agree.
It's not the question of being rich. I think one of the things I want to share information. When I live, I try to. I will tell you other stories also, but during your life you have to enjoy it. And when you say, you have to choose your words very, very safely. Like say, because when you say I want to be rich, then you are already actually going away from the richness. When you say, I am rich, then there is no doubt, you see? So the right to be rich means like you are rich. So for me, the first chapter is you are rich, period. Don't doubt about it.
I like that, what you just said, because I wrote on my little board by my desk, I think I was listening to Genevieve this week, and she made mention saying, dollars want me versus I want dollars. And when you think about it, when you say I want dollars, you're going to always be in the state of wanting. And she said money has no value if we don't have the money to spend the money. It's just paper. So money wants us, dollars want us, riches want us. You know, everything that we think about want us. So we have to say it in that way as if it's ownership. It can't exist without us. And it made so much sense, and I just kind of wrote that down and put it on my board because it's like, okay, dollars want us. That makes a lot more sense than I want something or I need something. Then all you're doing is affirming to the universe these desires, and once you don't claim it as if it is already yours, it's your birthright, it is here, you just have to align yourself for it to reflect, say, in your bank account.
There is so much dollars coming to your way that we might have trouble putting them somewhere. So it is also,
I love that.
we want to actually have less of that. You see.
Can I share with you guys? Everyone uses the word want. Are you guys aware that dictionaries, the meaning of the words in dictionaries, at least in the English world, got changed? A big symposium, I forget the full story, in 1946 they were all changed, the meanings of the words, to create more control. If you could get dictionaries prior to 1946, and I don't know when in 46 or prior to that, and I've done that experience because Access Consciousness talks about this all the time, that the word want has about 27 meanings in the dictionary that mean lack, and about 1 or 2 that mean to have. So knowing that, I tried to get the word want out of my life. I want blah, 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 and I couldn't. And I recognized it had become behavior for us to use the word I want this, I want that. And what we're saying to the universe is I lack this. So when we give our attention, energy, and focus to lack, we get more lack. So we're always constantly in a state of wanting, which is constantly in a state of lack. Therefore, what I did is recognizing it as a behavior, I changed out, you can't get rid of a behavior. I learned this in NLP without swapping it out for another equal, makes sense behavior. So I swapped out the word want for the word desire. Now I desire this. Can you feel the difference in the vibration of the word desire to when you say, I want something? I desire to be abundantly, overflowingly wealthy. I want. We have added these meanings, and these words were changed to keep us under control. Just sharing an observation. And I've got a 1887 set of dictionaries, and that is absolutely correct. I forget the exact amount. There's a ton of meanings to mean lack. Want means to lack.
What is your name? I don't.
Serenity.
Serenity. Serenity. When you said just one observation on top of it. When you said I desire, it meant it felt like. No, let me say first. When you said I want, it felt like you are the slave. But when you said I desire, it felt like you are the queen. So you're just sitting on the beach and you desire the money, or you desire Porsche 911 like me. I desire this. So that's just like.
I rarely say the word want unless I actually use the word to mean lack. Yeah. So I will consciously use the word want if I mean to lack. Like, I can't think of an exact example now. It's too early in the morning for me. But sometimes there's a need to be. Usually I've totally changed it out for I desire. I desire this, I desire that, I desire, because it feels so much lighter vibrational. And it means to bring it towards you, it's more magnetic.
I have to go, but I'm going to leave the meeting open for you to continue to talk to one another. So thank you very much, everyone, for the call, and I'll talk to you all next week.
Nicole, when the last person leaves, the call will just end. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. I've only used Zoom a few times, but I'll come back soon and check and see if everyone's gone and close it down. So continue to talk for as long as you like, and I have to go get ready for my next thing.
One question. Do we have? Will we get the voice? Will we get the voice and the chat?
I believe the chat.
I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm just going to leave everything open and go off and do what I need to do, and then I'll come back and check whether everyone's finished.
Question, I believe Nicole uploads the recording to YouTube. That's what she's been doing in the past.
Yeah.
So I would assume she's doing the same, and then we get a link to that.
Yeah. So this call's being recorded. So I can chop the end here off if everyone's more comfortable. So feel free to talk about what you wish, and I'll come back and stop the recording from this point when I edit to put it online.
I think one question is for the technical. If you have a headphone, then you will get a better sound quality. So if you have earphones or headphones, then you won't hear the noise. So that might improve the quality of the voice.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's been quite good. So thank you very much, everyone. I have to run, and stay on the line for as long as you like, and I'll talk to you all next week.
This is where I say I love you. Have an amazing, phenomenal, abundant, awesome day, Nicole.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone.
Nicole, I wish you $50 million.
Thank you, and I wish you
100.
Thank you.
I desire that Nicole gets $100 million.
That would be awesome. Now that would be something that I could be content with.
Well, it's our deep desire for you, Nicole, to have that. Because we'd have it all club.
Thank you. Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Nicole.
I will also have to go, but it was nice meeting you, and yes, it felt good for me. Thank you very much.
Likewise, Rudy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your insight.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Does anyone have anything else they'd like to discuss? Because I would be happy to stay and I would be happy to go.
What about question number 4?
We could do that. Keep the answers to question number 4 in the recording.
Oh, did we?
No, we never really specifically touched. So question 4 is, in which department of your life, body, mind and soul, do you feel the greatest lack? In brackets, your results will guide you to the answer.
Pretty personal question.
Yeah, this is more of an
a self-reflection that everyone needs.
Yeah.
I know when I did it, I think I was pretty almost equal in every regard. There wasn't one that was worse than the others, really.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm struggling to think because I have been working on this stuff for more than just since Bob's event. And in 2007, I found the movie The Secret, and I haven't looked back. My life has just, it's absolutely nothing like it was 10 years ago. So therefore, and I'm working on kind of all of this stuff, I'm not really feeling a lack of much of anything. I have an abundance of everything, an abundance of love, an abundance of friends, an abundance of great relationships. I'm not struggling. So.
Well, that's awesome. I wish I could say the same thing.
The greatest struggles I've had leading towards becoming and actually being and having all of me and getting out into the world and sharing what it is that I know because I've been holding out, for fear of sharing. So I could have more of feeling enough if I was to dig for something. Would be enough.
I didn't quite get that.
Maybe that's part of our inherent nature to want to be more, have more, do more. That might just be natural.
Maybe. How cool would that be?
Yes, exactly.
I love that one.
That's why I love this book, because it made it so simple that, you know what, I don't have to be this, that, and the other thing. And my purpose is just to be more of me. And it's okay to want to be more and have more and do more. It was just absolutely eye-opening to me.
It just peels off the old paradigms.
Yes, it really does. Although, you know, they'll try and drag you down again until you pick up the book again to remind yourself. But the more that you do, you know, the less power those paradigms have over you.
You know what I noticed is that a lot of people are struggling, like where it says, you know, your body, your mind, your soul. And I've always had a really big passion in health and wellness and stuff. And I started becoming very aware that biggest problem that people have with health and wellness is it's in the mind. And I mean, it's been proven that too. I mean, like they say, like about 75% of all disease is mindset stuff. And so when you really think about how all of this, I mean, you know, we used to look at our body and our mind as two separate things, or our body and our, you know, thinking and stuff as two separate things, that the health had nothing to do with what you were thinking. And I think it's such a really great way to really bring, you know, people that are struggling with their health to really teach them about the mindset. And this is something that's just starting to really be a real passion of mine, is to really help integrate those two things together. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that do that, but a lot of people don't understand that in a lot of different, I mean, there's still many, many people, of course, look at our health problems we have, especially in the U.S., it's just terrible. So that's kind of one of my passions, is really helping people see the correlation between what you're thinking and your physical health.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that we can help with, right? That we think are, I think, because of the growth that we've undertaken, that we kind of just feel that, you know, most people maybe know this, but really most people don't. Well, there's a lot of good we can do. Did we lose it?
I didn't quite get what Serenity said with the shift from before and now. Was it about self-worth, or what did you say it was?
What do you mean about
I'm sorry. You were talking earlier about the abundance you manifest now in all aspects, yes, and the difference, the contrast with before.
Huge.
Could you elaborate on that? What
specifically would you like? For me, it was like I watched the movie The Secret, and I got the concept, and I started reading books, and it was the little tweaks that I made. Like I was on welfare for the US people. I was a single parent. I just left my relationship of 19 and a half years. I left with 3 kids. One of the youngest was only just 1, and I was doing it on my own on a government pension for a single parent, and there was not enough money to go around. I used the money of the sale of our house, the marital home, to buy another house, but I couldn't keep up with the mortgage payments. If I'd stayed in that situation and things didn't change, I would have had to lose the house, because there was just not enough to go around. I couldn't get any extra rent assistance because now I was paying a mortgage.
Yeah, well, I wasn't asking about the details, as in
what I did. Asking the
yeah, would you say it was? I mean, your mindset shift, was it like a course correction? As in you changed something, you changed another thing, and
a desire to be and have more. This reality that I was living was BS, and I knew there was more on some level, deep inner knowing that there was more, and I was going to do whatever it took to have that.
Oh, I see. So basically, it all came down to a decision when you saw the movie. You said, I'm done with this. I know there's more. I'm going to get it.
I was always kind of good at it, but I didn't know how I was doing it. I was unconsciously now and regularly. And like I'd say, I'd like a really gorgeous leather jacket, but I haven't got any money to pay for it. And then a few weeks later, someone out of the blue would give me this leather jacket, to the point where my sister said, eventually, she said, "You're scary." I said, "Why?" She said, "You said last week you wanted a pair of leather boots and someone just gave them to you for free." And then I thought, well, if I'm good at it and I don't know how I'm doing it, what if I found out how I'm doing it?
Yeah, exactly.
So then I went on and then the first thing that happened to show up after that decision to know how to learn how to do it was the movie The Secret, because it was only just new out in 2007. And then I just made little tweaks. It was just little tweaks, loving my bills when they came up, and thanking people for trusting me to use their service. Thank you, electricity company, for trusting me to use their service. They are so abundant. You knew I could pay this bill when I got it.
Oh, that's a very, very good thing. I've heard that before and started.
Yeah, and the kids, instead of telling them that their needs could never be met, I need a pair of shoes, and I'm going, oh, holy crap, how do I pay for those? I haven't got enough money to pay for food this week, let alone shoes for your feet. So instead of me saying then, and getting grumpy, and saying, I can't give you shoes, I can't meet your needs, and they feel their needs can't be met, I had a chat to my kids, and we got on the same page. I explained what I was trying to do. So we came up with this unspoken thing of how we would play this game of abundance to shift where we were at to where we wanted to be. And I say to them, honey, could you wait a few, soon, baby, soon, I'd say. That was the part of the game. I'd say, soon, baby, soon. And if I knew that they'd have to wait a month for those shoes, I'd then say, do you think you could wait about 4 weeks for those? It'll just take a moment. And then they'd catch on and say, oh, yep, I can wait a month, Mum. And then suddenly we all felt our needs were being met, and we didn't feel like we were lacking anything. And those two little things were the two biggest things, biggest shifts for them.
Interesting.
Soon, baby, soon. And then I felt I could actually give them their needs, and I felt abundant.
Well, the way I see what you just said is like adding another layer of on top of reality, of thinking, as in, if you only limit yourself to what you can see here, and you don't have it, you say, okay, I don't have it, that's it. But if you think on another level, add that spiritual level to it, and I do have that, but it's just a matter of time. It's the law of gender that it will manifest.
I like that very much a lot. To me, it's very hard to pretend that I have something when I don't, but using the law of gender to convince myself that yes, it's here when it'll be here when it's supposed to be here. I think I can do that.
They're little things, aren't they? Just those little things that make all the difference, because it shifts our perception. Exactly. And the language. I tell everyone all the time, the language of the universe. Now, while words carry a vibration, and they often create a feeling in us, words don't always create the feeling. Words, that's where people can say an affirmation over and over and over and over again. And until they add meaning to it, feeling to it, intention to it, they're just doing what I call lip service, because the language of the universe is feeling.
Emotion, yeah.
So the universe is only checking in. They're not hearing the words we're saying. They're checking into the big brother, that 95% of us is unconscious, and checking in every millisecond of every moment of every day of our lives on how we're feeling. So instead of focusing on the words that you're saying, focus on how you're feeling in this 10 seconds. And when you're feeling good, you're on the right track. And when you're feeling crappy, I always then say, how do I get back to feeling good? And then I wait for the awarenesses to pop up. Oh, I might just go for a walk here. I might just put this 10 minutes and go do some stretching. And then I feel good again.
And that actually brings you back to
the universe is feeling. How are you feeling right now? And then that's how you know if you're on the right track or you've gone off track. And then you just need how to get back on track. Because to me, back on track is back to feeling good. Because that's who we are meant to be, feeling good.
Right. Interesting.
So just check in. You can't catch every millisecond, every thought that leaves your head, but you can keep checking in on how you're feeling.
Yeah.
True.
No, I had a little bout like a few weeks ago where I was just feeling really, really blue, and I couldn't get out of it, and I didn't know why. But one thing that really helped me was realizing the law of rhythm. That you're going to be on a down swing now and again. Don't feel bad about it. No, the swing will change and things will get better.
Yep, and just love yourself. Add to that, being the emissary of love. Love yourself during those moments.
Right.
Everything that shows up, love that.
Yeah.
So when that uncomfortableness shows up, just say, hello, one that's feeling uncomfortable right now. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Come give me a big cuddle. I get that you're feeling uncomfortable right now. How may I be of service to you to help you through this? And I do that all the time. And all the time I prove that the words mean nothing, because I look out my bedroom window every day and I stand there and I say the words to my husband, oh my God, I make a complaint. Oh my God, someone dug this huge freaking hole in my backyard and filled it with wildlife and water while I was sleeping. I should complain to the council. And he says, damn straight, who would do that and dig that in our backyard and give us that horrible view? But what we're feeling is such deep gratitude. Oh my God, I get to wake up every morning to see that. How freaking amazing is that? So that's where we prove again and again and again that words do not create the vibration. It's the feeling that you have that's underlying behind the words that most of us are unaware of that creates our reality.
Yeah. Good one, Serenity. That was cool.
Yes.
We complain about how amazing our life is all the time. We use the words, but nothing changes. It just keeps getting better. So we just keep complaining about it. You know what I mean? But we're feeling such deep gratitude. Well, we use the words. That's why people say affirmations and nothing changes. These affirmations don't work. I say add some feeling to it. Do you really mean it? Do you really believe it?
Yeah.
If not, there's some bridges. Like instead of, you don't believe I am a millionaire because you've never earned more than $5 a year.
Yes.
To the extreme. So you say things like, I'm in the process of being a millionaire. Because we're always in the process of something. That will include cleaning our teeth. We're in the process of finishing this call. We're in the process of getting to work. But do we doubt that we're going to get to work or finish cleaning our teeth? No, of course not. So the unconscious mind is usually very uncomfortable with the bridge of I'm in the process of. Until you move past it and you actually start believing it's possible, then you start saying, I am a millionaire. Because the trick is you need the feeling, not the words.
Yes.
So what can you say as a bridge until you can actually have the feeling of believing that's potentially possible to have the feeling of it is remotely possible. So if I say I'm in the process of, I know in my brain that that's possible as long as I'm taking action in that direction.
I love that, Serenity. That is going to help me so much.
That helped me heaps when I learned that one. I'm in the process of. And then eventually you start feeling like you could be a millionaire and you start saying, I'm a millionaire, and then that feels good. So if you're saying an affirmation and unless it feels good and remotely believable, don't say it. It's just service. Say, I'm in the process of.
Yeah. I love that too.
Behind it, that it's possible.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Works wonders for me.
That was so helpful.
Glad I stayed.
Thank you.
About the names, like I know why I'm here, but I don't know. I really don't know a name or something.
So why are you here?
I'm here to encourage others to follow their dreams, lift them up, and guide them.
So we'll call you the Dream Maker.
Voila.
Well, I was thinking of the Dream Catcher, but that catches, that means you're forever chasing after something. So the Dream Maker means you make dreams possible.
Yeah.
I like that. That fits nicely. Does that fit nicely for you, the Dream Maker?
I love it.
There you go. See, that wasn't hard.
Awesome. Thanks, Renee.
Does anyone else need help? If you know what you're here to do and can't put it into words, maybe we can put it into words.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't, Serenity, but I feel the same way as Jillian does. That I think I'm here to become more of myself, so that I can live a powerful, example-setting life for others to want to undertake their own personal development journeys as well. So that's kind of where I feel that my purpose lies right at this moment. It may get bigger, but right now, that's what I think that what I need to do.
What about the possibilities creator? Because when you're being the change you desire to have in the world, you're showing people the possibilities of what they can be and have.
Yeah.
So what about the possibility creator?
Yeah.
Because you're creating possibilities for people, the opportunity, or the possibility opportunist. I don't like the word opportunist. So the possibility creator. Anyone else need some help?
I do. This is Maggie.
Hey, Maggie.
Hey, well, what I find what I've written down a while ago was to awaken and inspire others to be empowered to live healthy and a fulfilled life, so that they can also empower others to do the same.
What about just the awakener?
The awakener.
Full stop.
I like that.
Why limit yourself to yourself? The awakener.
Wake up, everybody. Come on, let's go do it.
It's got this little kid's nursery rhyme. What's the one where he goes around lighting or wrapping? Is everybody in bed? Oh, no. Sorry, I've just gone back to childhood. Anyone else?
Serenity, you're good at this.
I just listen to the underline. See, I'm good at reading between the lines. I hear what you say, and I say, what's the essence of that? If I was to kind of words.
Awesome.
Anyone else?
Glad you need help.
Oh.
Hey,
yes, I do.
What is it you do? What is it you're here for?
Oh.
Description, short description.
I'm still deciding. Bring value to people and create. Doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, it does matter. Oh, this is difficult.
Well,
I would
listening
say
to that gave me, I'd say the valuer. I don't know if that resonates. I think there's more to that, and I'm just not getting it because something feels off.
I would say the creator. That sounds real good to me. But it might just be generic, wouldn't it?
Doesn't matter. That's what you're here to do, and it helps you be you.
I like to come up with ideas,
So the creator
invent
of
stuff, and add value.
The creator of value, or
That
the
was
value
easy.
creator. To get
Easier
it down.
than expected. Good. Yeah, I think I'll go with that.
There you go. Anyone else? Well, we're on the line.
Wait, what's the last name?
The value creator.
Value creator, yes.
Anyone else?
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what? I've been thinking about mine. This is Cheryl here, and you're calling me the opportunity creator. I was thinking that maybe I should be the opportunity model.
Oh, I like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds even better.
Sounds even better.
That's a big pitch. That's a big hook.
Golly, you're here.
Hey, that's who I am.
I like that one better.
Yes.
See, you had something to dig into then and mull over and come up with better. I love
I
it.
know, it always helps to talk things over, doesn't it?
Well, once you've got a draft, it's easy to work off a draft, right?
Yeah.
Anyone else desiring a draft?
What would you say for?
Hello? Yeah.
Callie?
What would you say for someone that is destined to be a pioneer in inspiring and to uplift others for constructive change, but using means of creative expression of individuality, bringing out, just being an example of making this seemingly impossible.
The creative expressor. Or the creative expressionist. Out is the creative expression of everybody is what I heard. That was the red flag I heard. That's what jumped out at me. Something along those lines. How does that resonate with you, Callie?
I'm being a little distracted by hearing the noise in the background.
The creative expressionist or the creative expressor.
Creative expressor? Yeah, I guess so.
Something along those lines. Because the rest of the being a pioneer, the fact that you're doing it before others already presupposes you're a pioneer. So that's not the important part of what you do.
Being the pioneer. Yeah.
Being the pioneer is because you're doing it. You're already a pioneer. That's a given. So what is it you're trying to draw out in others? And what was the red flag that jumped out was creative expression.
Creative expression being the seed planter.
There you go. That's another one, the seed planter.
Seed planter, yeah.
It doesn't have to be some wow woo name.
The sower of creative expression.
Oh, I love that one. There you go.
Can I hear that again?
Or the creative expression sower.
I said the sower of creative expression.
Or the other way around, the creative expression sower.
Yeah.
Either way, they say the same thing. It depends on which way.
Oh, interesting.
Just better. I love that one.
Thank you.
That's nice.
Anyone else?
Guys, I'll jump in and say a warm thank you and a big hug to everybody because I gotta go.
Was that Rooney? Rooney, I love you.
It's bad.
Nice talking with you again.
Yeah,
Likewise. So see you next week. No, wait. See you Saturday.
Oh, actually, Rooney, you asked if you it looks like the chat, you asked if we get a copy of the chat. It looks like there's a save chat button on the chat box.
Oh.
If you want to save it, looks like you can save it yourself as you're leaving.
Continue the chat on the Skype.
Yeah. I think we might finish the call off. It's been great. We had fun finding names for each other, being creative. Cool. We worked together well as a team. Everybody, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Beautiful ones. You're gorgeous. You're fantastic. And you're perfect just the way you are.
Thanks, Serenity.
Thanks, Serenity.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Have an awesome day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
I guess we just close the window when it shuts off. Bye.